The Cardinals come out of their first conference contest with a big home victory over Carthage and a number 6 national ranking. But with that comes a big target on their backs and a road matchup with a tough Augustana team. Keep it here for the next 30 minutes because the Red Zone starts right now. Welcome to this week's edition of the Red Zone, where we cover everything Cardinal football. I'm Alex Simmons, joined by North Central head coach John Thorne. Coach, you guys opened up the conference season at home against Carthage, a pretty good team, and came out with a pretty nice victory.
Well, thanks, Alex. It was a fun game. We were very happy with our defensive performance, especially because they had cranked up a lot of yards a year ago. And the D-line had another unbelievable day, but so did our defensive backs. Josh McLeod had, I think, 5 knockdowns or bat downs, and so it was a good day. Offense still helped crank out over 40, and the young kicker had 3 field goals. So it was a very fun afternoon.
For sure, and it was one under the lights as well, so that was very exciting. Let's go to the highlight. North Central opening CCIW play against Carthage. Cardinals win the toss and defer to the second half, and they're pretty happy about it. Second Carthage possession, Evan Jones drops back and Willie Hayes gives him some company. That's a sack, a common theme for the Cardinals throughout the game. Next possession, Jones back to pass and Hayes comes on a stunt. He says, "Welcome to Sacktown, population U." Cardinals next possession and Brad Crackle looks to get the pass game going. He is successful, finding Jeff Grunwald down the right side for 40 yards. First and goal, Cardinals. Next play, Crackle gives to Jordan Tassio and he scampers through a huge hole for the 5-yard touchdown, 6-0 NCC. After a Redmond punt, Cardinals get the ball back and Crackle looks down the left sideline for senior wideout Steve Lavick. They hook up for 20 yards and another crucial first down. And the red zone might as well be called the Tassio zone. The former Naperville North Husky runs it in again for 7 yards and a 13-point lead. Second quarter now and Carthage back to punt. They get it away, a 42-yard boot and all, and Joe Antonacci decides to do his best Devin Hester impression. He streaks down the left side and makes a man miss, crosses midfield, only has one man to beat, but he gets tripped up by the punter. Cardinals would eventually get a touchdown set up by that return to go up by 20. Second half now, Cardinals up 23-2, and Tassio says, "Yeah, I'm just going to make this one easy." A 61-yard scamper for his 3rd score of the day, and the Cardinals roll from there to start undefeated in CCIW play, getting the big win over Carthage. Well, Coach, as we saw there, the defense really turned in an impressive performance. The school record, negative 36 rushing yards allowed, and these guys having a lot of fun out there, right?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. You know, it's Willie Whalen and the boys is a country music thing. Well, we've got Willie Valenti and the boys going for us. They've had 2 great weeks in a row of lots of quarterback sacks, and all the guys are just getting into it more and more every day. We're using 8 different defensive linemen, and every one of them got in on the tackles. The D-line had 40% of the defensive tackles this week, 38% of the tackles last week. That's pretty great performance by those guys up front.
And something you don't see too often, they take the cake again. 3 weeks in a row, the game-changing performance, the defensive line just incredibly getting back there. 8 sacks, we've talked about it before. These guys just having a blast.
Yeah, they sure are, and it's enthusiasm going on all the time because we're using the 8 players and they're just flying around. A lot of great things are happening. That was a big sack right there by Willie. Here he comes on the inside again. So Valenti's right there with him. The 2 of them are just energizing that whole group. And I think we got Peter coming up here pretty quick on his sack.
Yeah, and when we talk about it, these guys,
George
seem to be getting back there, getting a lot of pressure, and that was a pretty good backfield for the Redmen. Evan Jones is a senior. They've been playing really well, and you guys just kind of stopped them right in their tracks.
Well, the guys really did, and we like the 8 sacks. We like the 12 other hits on the quarterback that went along with it. And now we got to see if we can keep doing that the rest of the year, because that makes the whole rest of the defense work so much better.
And we take a look at the rushing or the stats nationally for your defense. #1 in rushing defense, allowing 12 yards a game, 0.4 yards a carry. 6th in scoring defense with 7.5 points a game. 3rd in sacks. If you maybe had one thing you could put your finger on it that's kind of seen the resurgence of this defense this year, what would it be?
Well, Coach Ponks. He has got a great plan, and he's a stickler for detail, and the players are really buying into doing the fundamentals correctly. We had been playing too high in the past several years, and our linemen are playing much lower, which is helping a great deal. But also, we have to be able to defend the forward pass, and that's an area where we expect a really huge improvement as the rest of the year goes on.
Now as we switch gears to the offensive side of the ball, 43 points in the game, so obviously you guys put a nice number on the board, pounding it with the running game again, 272 yards. Jordan Tassio really turning into your guys' workhorse.
You know, he's a great player. Everybody knew that, and just finding the right spot for him in this offense. We still want him to keep learning more and more about quarterback, and he'll be the Wildcat quarterback, but also if he can learn how to read and throw the pass a little bit better, he'll be able to do a lot more things. But right now, as our running back, he's just having some great games, and we expect a lot more. But Kyle Antos and the rest of the offensive line are the ones that make it possible for a running back to have a good day. And they're doing a great job of opening up holes and protecting the quarterback. I think we're allowing maybe 1 sack per game, and we're rushing for well over 230, 240 yards.
And you talk about that offensive line. It seems like when they get into the point of attack, these guys are opening up some big holes, winning a lot of those one-on-one matchups. And really, when you think about it, you know, when it comes to the run game, it's about scheme, but it's about how hard these guys are working, and they're working pretty hard. Yeah,
we call the linemen the real football players, you know, and our D-line and our offensive line are really taking that as a challenge. They say, hey, all right, you think we're the real players? We're going to prove to you we're the real players, and they've just been fantastic. The whole rest of the team is rallying around both linemen, offensive side, defensive side, and it's just improving the play of every player on the team. As they get better, the Cardinals will keep getting better.
And, you know, you talked about the offensive line a little bit, and how big is it that this is such a veteran group you guys have up front?
Well, that's huge. They're not just veterans, but they're strong, fast, athletic guys. And they've worked hard to get where they are today, and they see that work really paying off, and they'll start a legacy of offensive linemen year after year after year will want to do what these guys have done, and gives the Cardinals a chance to be good for a long, long time.
Yeah, when those guys are flying around, it really is fun to watch. Well, with nearly 500 yards of offense on Saturday and 39 points per game this season, the Cardinal offense has played well so far this year, but they still think there's plenty of room to grow, and that's the subject of this week's What's the Word?
I'm thrilled with the way our offensive line has been playing really all season. And our running backs are progressing, obviously with Jordan, but then Nick Kukoc and Denzel Thompson looked really, really good tonight. Our receivers, we just got to continue to work on our pass game and be that complete offense we want to be. We're a little too one-dimensional, in my opinion, right now.
We were waiting for a big play from Tassio all year, and we finally got one. So I felt like after that, things started to click a little bit more for us. We started to get open a little bit more, started to be able to get more in man coverage that way. And from there, pass game opened up, everything was just flowing for us. So hopefully, we can carry that into next week. We still shoot ourselves in the foot every once in a while, and we got to get rid of a few little mistakes. And basically, we can't ever be satisfied.
Brad's our starter right now, but Spencer is a dynamite quarterback, and they both need to get reps because, as we've seen the last 2 years, our quarterback has gotten hurt, and that second guy's got to be ready. They're very, very close. Brad has certain strengths that Spencer doesn't have, and vice versa. So we're just kind of trying to feel it out, and eventually we'll settle on one for the long haul. But Brad's doing some great things. and Spencer has done some very good things too so far this season.
Now looking at that, those guys do seem a little bit frustrated. A couple of times, drives really stalling. Do you feel like they're almost on the cusp of really having a breakout game here pretty soon?
Well, absolutely, Alex. Offense timing is so vital. I mean, everybody can do their assignment perfect, but if it's not timed up perfect, it still doesn't work. And so with new quarterbacks, with new running backs, with different receivers, all those things, we're still trying to get that timing to be a little bit sharper. Mm-hmm. And as soon as that happens, they're not going to be putting 40 points up. It'll be a lot more than 40 points. So we're really happy with what they're doing in terms of their progress, and they're going to keep getting better.
Well, definitely something you guys got to be looking forward to. Mm-hmm. Keep it locked right here, because after the break, Coach Thorne and I will be joined by two Cardinal big men that anchor the lines on both sides of the ball. Stay with us.